It's been a little while since I've made a Black Series figure review, and the main reason for that is that I had some trouble finding all of the new Rogue One figures back when they were kind of new, and even though I've found most of them now, it seemed like they were kind of maybe old news. Everyone's already done reviews of them, multiple reviews of them. But I decided, well, you know what, I think I will, in the days running up to the release of the film Rogue One in the theaters, I'm going to do a kind of a week or maybe more of just Rogue One figure reviews leading right up to that, and just get them all out of the way, and finally actually review some of them. I haven't opened any of them up yet in anticipation of doing something with them, so it'll be kind of nice to actually open them up. But today we have something that is not a Rogue One figure. No, this is the Force Awakens version of C-3PO, which I have finally found in a store just a few minutes ago. So now there is a original trilogy version of this that's going to be available at Walgreens, or it is available already for some people, not for me. I've looked around a few places and haven't had any luck. But for today, we're going to be looking at the Force Awakens version. Now, this is number 29. It says Resistance Base C-3PO. On the back, it says C-3PO, Resistance Base, a fastidious and worry-prone protocol droid, C-3PO longs for more peaceful times, but his continued service to Princess Leia keeps him in the front lines of galactic conflict. Now, I will say, as I mentioned, I think in another video, C-3PO is one of my favorite characters. I love his design, just physically. It's a great design. Now, some people are kind of annoyed by him, but that's really the point. I mean, that's his character. He's kind of fussy, as they say, and he acts as a counterpoint to some of the other characters. He's definitely sort of a comic relief, as is R2-D2. But yeah, I'm a fan. So I prefer to have the original trilogy version, but I don't mind having this one to go with my Force Awakens characters by any means. So we're going to go ahead and open this guy up and see what he looks like. Compare him as well to the Disney Elite series of die-cast figures. So let's go ahead and do that. So my first impression getting him out of the box is that he looks pretty good. He's got a pretty nice gold finish here. It's not the sort of vacuum metallized chrome finish, but it is reasonably good gold color, shiny gold paint. The red arm is apparently not painted except for this black patch here. It's just red plastic. But yeah, I'm not even sure. I think this must be painted plastic, the gold part, because you can't get gold plastic to look this nice, I think. If we look at his face more closely, I think they did a fairly good job of capturing his face there. They did not make the sort of vertical lines or slats in his eyes that should be there, but I think at this scale it might be too much to ask for. So they just went with a sort of a different effect to make the eyes. And I think it works pretty well if you look at it at a normal distance. The only real complaint I would have, just looking at it for a few minutes here, is the articulation is a little bit limited. Now, of course, C-3PO being what he is, we don't expect him to have huge amounts of articulation, but there's not a lot of options you have, really, because you really can't even move this arm down at all. You can have it up like that or down like that, and that's it. No articulation at the elbow. He does have a twisting hand on both arms. There we go, that's very natural. He has sort of a ball joint at the hips, and then he has just a cut joint at the knees, and then sort of the usual weird swivelly kind of thing at the ankles. He does have a ball joint at the head, and that's really the most important joint on the figure, I think, because it allows you to give a lot of personality. Just having him turn one way or the other can give him a lot of emotion. But I do feel like these arms in particular could be just a little bit they could have given it just a little bit more motion. You know, that's basically what you're going to get. You're going to get this, or you're going to get one of the arms up. I mean, it is C-3PO, as I say, so you can't expect too much, but still. There's no other accessories or removable parts. I mean, they could have added something, a removable faceplate and so forth. I'm okay with them not having that, frankly, because that just tends to get lost. But otherwise, quite an attractive figure. Now, I did want to compare it to the Disney Elite Series figure. They are just about the same size. The Elite Series one is slightly taller. Now, the Elite Series one, as I mentioned in my review of that, which you can see up there, has a pretty nice metallic finish. A nicer, at least more metallic finish. I don't know if it's nicer or not. More reflective, certainly. But if you want to look at the faces of these two, let's see if we can get in closer. The Black Series one on the left, if it'll focus, is much nicer, more detailed. He actually has a nose, which he should have. Here, there's really no nose. It's just a little bit of a convex portion there, but no real nose. So it seems like it's low detail, and the eyes too seem a little bit too cartoony. In terms of articulation, this one is similarly limited, actually more limited even than this one, I think. This, boy, there we go. This should have a rotating neck, I was going to say. It is also on a ball joint, but it seems more limited. Yeah, basically, it's very similar, I would say, actually. But given the overall impression, this one, the Black Series one, being made out of plastic, can be a bit more detailed than this metal one. Of course, the Disney Elite Series one is a heck of a lot more heavy than the Black Series one, but I'm not really sure if that's an advantage. Now, if we want to compare him to the Black Series Luke, I'm not sure if this is totally accurate or not. I mean, Luke, I think, should be slightly taller than C-3PO, but it's not totally off. It looks good enough to me. I think they have concentrated perhaps on making this be in scale with the Black Series R2-D2, which unfortunately I can't find right now. He has scooted off somewhere, but if you may recall, that is a bit of an undersized figure, so I think he was around this tall, and I think they probably concentrated on having C-3PO look good next to him, which makes sense. But overall, I would definitely recommend this figure to anyone wanting the Force Awakens version of the character. I definitely want to try and get the original trilogy version of him, however, because, well, I mean, I prefer that version, first of all, and also I want to have a C-3PO to have in my Black Series Jabba display. But until I do that, this one will do nicely. So stay tuned for more Black Series figure reviews in the weeks to come.